Arizona Cardinals are coming off a dominant victory as Marvin Harrison Jr. had a stellar performance, and they will be hosting the Detroit Lions here, who fell just short to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their Week 2 the playoff rematch from last year's divisional round. So we're going to break down this Lions at Cardinals Week 3 matchup here. I'm going to provide our in-game matchups that you need to watch and some of the X factors. And at the very end of the video, we're going to give our predictions as well. But before we get into that, Brian and I, we want to give a huge shout out to everybody that subscribed to the channel during our Week 2 prediction series video. Not only did you help us reach our goal of 100 new subscribers, we got well over 200 new subscribers. So thank you very much. And I will say, let's not get too greedy. Let's just see if we can get another 100 new subscribers to the channel. So this is your first time here. Help us out in reaching that goal. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and a comment as well. Let us know who you think is going to win this game. And so, Ryan, this Cardinals team, we've been talking about a lot this offseason, and even to kind of going back to last year, how we just kind of liked the momentum and what they were doing down in Arizona, Jonathan Gannon as a head coach. And today was kind of one of those games as well where it was like everything definitely seemed to come together. They were playing against a kind of a banged-up Rams team, a weaker offensive line, and still Puka Nacua didn't play, and Cooper Kupp was also hurt as well. But that being said, I don't think that would have mattered just because of how dominant that performance was. Marvin Harrison Jr., over 130-plus yards with 2 touchdowns as well. Kyler Murray's looking great. They're running the ball extremely well. And Detroit had a great defensive game, but unfortunately fell just short to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And just a couple of unfortunate turnovers. And it seemed like they just struggled to just kind of get the ball into the end zone. That was honestly just really it. They were moving the ball significantly better than Tampa Bay, but fell just short. What do you think of both of these teams kind of heading into this Week 3 matchup?
Yeah, I mean, kind of starting out with Detroit, tough loss there. Tough, like Tampa Bay is a really good team, and they have a lot of really good veteran talent on this roster. Baker Mayfield coming out having a good year behind an improved offensive line. Like this is just a really improved, well-rounded team. I don't think Detroit had their best day, especially as this young defense kind of continues to grow, especially in that secondary, kind of getting to NFL speed. And so I think that's going to be just a growing process for Detroit. Whereas Arizona, man, did they just wallop a banged up LA Rams. Like that was just an absolute beatdown from the beginning. The game was, I mean, it was close at 0-0, but after that, it was pretty much said and done. Really after the first quarter, the Rams really struggled to move the ball without Puka Nacua. The Cardinals did a good job of just kind of limiting plays. Cooper Kupp got even banged up. They got after Matthew Stafford fairly well. They ran the ball well with James Conner. They got the ball in Marvin Harrison Jr.'s hands very effectively. And so all in all, I think this is going to be a really fun matchup. Probably my favorite matchup we've had so far.
Oh yeah. No, this is going to be a fun game to watch. It's Rams secondary was definitely weaker, kind of also too, as we saw in the Rams Detroit game from Week 1. Where the Lions kind of exploited it. And Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray definitely exploited that as well, getting behind them and just breaking off some huge plays. And so this is going to be one of the more fun matchups here as Lions. I still think everybody's kind of slightly rooting for just because of they have an extremely good team and everybody knows what's been going on with Detroit in football over the past couple of years. But they're going to definitely have their hands full in this game. Let's kind of move into that matchup here. But before we get into that, let's check out the link down below if you do like to put a couple bucks down on the Lions or Cardinals games. BetUS has a bunch of great promotions going on right now for first-time players that you're not going to want to miss. I will say this is going to be pretty interesting too, kind of if you're looking at the BetUS odds. I wouldn't be surprised if it is fluctuating throughout the week, but I would think the Lions would be the favorites here. I know both teams are 1-1, but Lions still have the pedigree. I know they're on the road, but it's I kind of look at it. It might be a 1-2 point game if you kind of look at this Cardinals team. The biggest thing to me, I really think is in Week 1 they struggled in the second half of the game against Buffalo Bills. Once from that Bills offense, which is a much more confident offense, started to get the ball rolling. The Rams, they've really essentially kind of almost a backup offensive line. Lost their 2-star players, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp got hurt during the game. And so the reason why I just say that is it's because I think the biggest X factor in this game is just really how good is this Cardinals defense. They did a great job against the Rams, so I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but against a healthy Lions team, and I'll say healthy, I'll come back to that point in a second, but against a healthy Lions team, are they going to be able to stop the run and slow down the pass and get after Jared Goff kind of all at the same time, similar to kind of how we saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense be able to stymie them? I say healthy too because I did see amon-ra St. Brown look like he was struggled to finish the game as well. I don't know if it was his ankle or if it was a cramp.
He got like rolled up on a weird tackle.
Yeah, and so that's definitely going to be something to follow throughout the entire week because if they lose amon-ra St. Brown, that's going to be a big story to watch. But they're still going to have James Williams, still going to have Sam Laporta, still going to have David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. Honestly, they might have Montgomery in the backfield more and Gibbs line up in slot, to be completely honest, if amon-ra is not able to go. So that's just a lot of weapons to cover. And they didn't really have to worry about that too much against the Rams. And it was a different style of game, I would say, than in the Bills. That being said, the Bills did kind of start to run all over them in the second half of that game. That's something I'm curious the Lions will be looking at and be trying to do. So with yourself, kind of what are some of the main X factors that you think kind of going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, one, if Detroit can come into this game healthy, they got a week. Amon-ra St. Brown has played through injuries before. This one might be a little bit beyond, I think, playing through if it's severe. But one of the things I think you look at just the Bills game against the Cardinals and then the Rams game against the Cardinals, the Bills were able to kind of hang in there, and they also stuck with the run early on in the game, even if it wasn't working. And they, at the end of the game, the run game was working a little bit better. So establishing the run against this Cardinals defense, I think, is going to be pretty crucial. Then also stopping the run. And granted, the Rams defense didn't do a whole lot of anything today, giving up 41. But one of the things that they let go early was they just let James Conner run all over them. And the Cardinals definitely won the line of scrimmage. And I think that's going to be a lot harder to do against the Lions. And I think that will probably be the key there, is just who's winning the line of scrimmage on each possession.
Yeah. That's right. Typically, I like to lean more towards Detroit on that, and I think I will on who's going to have the better offensive line in this game. That being said, the Cardinals have improved a lot over these past couple of years, building through the draft as well with Paris Johnson Jr. and company. And so, kind of with that, let's kind of go to predictions here. And Ryan, I'm going to throw it over to you here because I've gone first with our last couple prediction videos now, which should all be coming out today. So go check out those our other predictions for the other games.
This is only like the second really hard one, though.
That's true. Yeah, and
you've taken all the easy softball ones. So
I don't know about that.
I will go first. I'm going to go with Detroit, barring that amon-ra St. Brown is healthy. I feel like if he's not, this offense is really going to struggle to go. And actually, the more I'm even talking about it, the more I feel like Arizona is just going to be the healthier, more physical team coming into this matchup. But I think Detroit is going to be able to establish the run. They're going to have enough downfield receiver presence going into this matchup that they'll be able to just be the more physical team going into it. They also have a really good run defense, and I think James Conner and this Cardinals team is going to struggle to create that level, like a significant level of push on a consistent down in and down out basis against this Lions front seven.
So I'm also going to go with Detroit here, as much as it pains me to go, because I've been a big Cardinals fan on this channel for all the Cardinals fans that are watching this. But I think the biggest thing is the Detroit was able to pretty much shut down Mike Evans. Now, Chris Godwin did have 7 catches for 117 yards, to be completely fair. But I think there's a big difference between Mike Evans and then Chris Godwin as a combo versus Michael Wilson versus Marvin Harrison Jr. and then Michael Wilson or Greg Dortch, so to say. I know that they played 2 totally different style of games, like with Kyler Murray at QB versus Baker Mayfield. But I think the Detroit secondary has improved, and they're going to be able to shut down or slow down Marvin Harrison Jr. in this offense, make him a little more have to kind of go elsewhere. And there are other guys that they can throw to 100%. I like Trey McBride, for example, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch. But I also think then to combine that, then with the Lions have one of the better run defenses in the league, even going back to last year. I think it's going to be tough for James Conner and company to get a lot of run, to get running yards in a more traditional way. I feel like Kyler Murray will have some running yards just because it's Kyler Murray and his scrambling capabilities. So kind of with all that being said, if Detroit can kind of get over this hump where kind of as I mentioned at the preview video for the Lions game, sometimes their offenses can stall, so maybe they're still trying to get through that. If they can figure out that stalling issue, I think they should still be able to methodically kind of work their way down the field against this Cardinals team and win in kind of, I'd say, a pretty high-scoring game. I'll say 31-24 Lions.
Yeah, I think it'll be high scoring. I think both of these offenses are going to be good enough that they're going to kind of cause enough problems, or like create enough confusion for these defenses. And you just look at the playmakers in this game: James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray, and you have Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Like a lot of big offensive weapons. And then Ben Johnson, I think, will be a head coach next year after this next coaching cycle kind of runs through
somewhere. Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun one. I'm really looking forward to this one. This might be the top game I'm looking forward to in week 3. So we're both taking Detroit. Shockingly, I thought we would disagree on this one, especially when you threw it over to me first and that sneaky little tactic in this game we play throughout the year. But let's go ahead and wrap this one up. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.